Hello friends, welcome back for our video, and today we're going to be talking about how I edit my videos, mainly because a lot of you guys have been asking about how I edit this video, or how do you edit this video, what editing software do you use, and blah 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 blah. I'm going to be going over about how I edited this specific video, because a lot of you guys are just wondering, and yeah, let's begin. Hello friends, welcome back for our video, and today we're going to be talking about whenever I do Okay, a few things. When it comes to that, since you heard that like the audio didn't match with the video, that's an Adobe issue, mainly because if you were to render this specific clip, it would sound correct. And what I normally say in this clip, and I say die, what I did for this is, if we move all this back up, I have this right here, which is the glitch effect. This is kind of like that glitch effect. I just found it online. It's really easy to find things like this. These two right here are the X's that are going to kind of follow my face, which is what I normally use with keyframing. And I am a big fan of keyframing. I really like keyframing. And just to show you how specifically, like, to be exact you have to be, just a slight movement of this and it will look completely off. It would just look completely weird. Like if I take all these and I move this all down, I move this one over here, I move this one over here, this one here, maybe put this over there and that, then it looks like this. The video, it just doesn't look right. For every single type of webcam shot, I normally have a crop, I have a drop shadow, and I also have the color correction, which is what I use for my camera. Normally when it comes to color correction, you have to be kind of like experimental and know what you want to get, because there's a big difference when it comes to seeing an image that looks like that and an image that looks like that. It may look just like a slight difference, but just to watch a video that kind of looks like this, just like it looks whitened out. Like you can see that it looks like there's a thin white layer or like some colored layer right on top of the image. With something like this effect, other things start to like pop out in the view, like the background pops out more, my face pops out more. I just really like this, and I color correct and stuff, and I just want to be a video editor when I'm older. This right here was just simple. I had a little bit of text. I just took my text tool, I just plopped it down, I typed something and blah blah blah. The font that I use is normally cartoonist font. It's a very common YouTuber font and I just like it. What I did to get this black and white, there is an effect called tint. If I know how to spell tint, I spelled tint, and then you can put this on anywhere. I put it here, and that's now black and white. Now what I do for just to have the text kind of just like moving back and forth, I just use simple rotation, and it kind of just goes back and forth. If I were to move this a little bit, it would look wonky. If I were to raise the numbers on this, if I were to move this over here, and then maybe add one here, no, then you couldn't be able to read it. It's just a kind of a preference that you want to do. Now, one thing that I do like to do is I always like to have this kind of music playing in the background, and it kind of sometimes can get obnoxious, but I use it carefully and I don't use it all the time. But what I like to do with this is that I may get like a 1-minute song that's non-copyrighted, and I can use it throughout a 10-minute video if I wanted to, because I use a certain method which involves listening to a song, and whenever I cut because there's like a funny moment or something, if I'm running out of song, what I could do is I could just take it from the middle of the song and just put it there, because the viewer won't technically remember what they just heard because they're not focusing on the song, they're focusing on the video. And what I do for this is I normally put my scale down to a 30. Position is always preference. It's just like wherever it just lands good. I normally, for crop, it always just depends. Like sometimes I'll put it at like 20-ish. Sometimes I'll put it at 18. Sometimes I'll put it at 21. This one just looks good at 27 because I could get that bar or like that piece of wood out of the way. I always have the same kind of drop shadow. I have it at 100, 135, 70, and 150. That's just what it looks like with just the shadow. And when it comes to audio, what I normally like to do is the audio that I'm actually recording originally on OBS is, it'll be too quiet. So what I do is I normally just unlink this audio file, and I'll go to my audio gain, and I'll normally bump it up to about 8 decibels or so. And what I'll also do here is I'll go over here and I'll do some of the mixing, and I'll put this up about 4 decibels or so.
Get over here!
I'm going to stay away. I've been doing a little bit more of audio effects into my videos, mainly because it just gives it a different feel, and it's kind of cool, and I did them more in the past, and I just kind of want to bring them back, because 1, it involves a lot more editing, and I like editing, and 2, it just gives a different feel to it. And if you're wondering what this means nested sequence. Mainly, this means that I kind of had my face cam and the actual video on top of each other. And instead of having to move both of them individually, this kind of just puts it like in a package, if you know what I mean. And my face cam is kind of like planted right on top of this image, and you can tell that because when I go here, if I were to just slowly go frame by frame, you could see that my face cam is kind of implanted on that and it's kind of following with the actual gameplay. One thing I decided to do here is I use keyframes, and I kind of just like increase the size of my face cam as well as increase the volume to kind of like put a point to what I was trying to say. And normally what I like to do is I like make my face cam, when it comes to things like this, I kind of like to make my face cam maybe about 45 scale, sometimes 50, just depends on what I'm kind of looking for. Dan the man. Oh, you're punching. By the way, when it comes to just when to stop playing the song, I normally either do it on beat, like of an event happening, or just when it seems right. For this, I kind of did it on beat, like you'll hear a little ding, meaning I killed the person, and then the music stops. Dan the man. Oh, you're punching me? Okay, yeah, I'll just kill you like that. That's cool. I'll do that. I mean, it's pretty easy. Alright, you gotta listen now. Okay, so this was completely unneeded. This was extremely unneeded. But I just was having fun, so I just decided to add this. I was really debating if what I should do is I should have like the gun have some sort of like fire or some sort of like involvement with it. I decided to not. I probably should have. It would have made it better. But what I did for something like this is I just found this image on Google. What I decided to do is I kind of just wanted to have this ugly like laugh happen, and then you kind of just see this gun just boop, just out of nowhere. And what I decided to do to kind of make it a little bit more realistic is I added a little bit of a rotation on it, as if someone was to be holding the gun. So the thing will come in, it's a little bit high, and then it plops down, and then it kind of scurries back, and then it just sits there for a second, and then it shot goes, you see the blood go, and you'll hear the sound go. The gun will move back like if someone was shooting it, and then it goes forward, and then this character right here, the person laughing with the blood effect that I found on Google, or I found on YouTube, that goes off. That kind of just symbolizes that blood is spewing everywhere. It rotates, it just goes in that direction, and then it's out of frame. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm gonna run away from you now. One thing I did right here is I kind of just found like this instrumental like orchestra playing this song, and what I actually screwed up on was that when I was singing the song, I was kind of doing it like way too fast compared to what the actual song sounds like. So I actually had to speed up the song myself, and there is a speed and duration button, and I decided that it kind of sounds best around 129 speed. So that's kind of what I wanted to do there. And what's kind of funny is that right when I see him there, I just like turn around, and then I hear the roar from like a lion or something. God, not kill me! Yes, I killed him! Yes, yes, yes! One thing that I'm really a big fan of is this audio effect, because I was going through like YouTube trying to find like what would work good with this, and then I found this one streamer like freaking out over something, and I'm just like, this is perfect. So what I decided to do is I kind of did that nesting thing that I was talking about a few minutes ago, where my face cam would get closer, it zooms up, and then what I do from here is I click on this button right here, and whenever I move this picture here, it makes a keyframe, and it will automatically go there when playing the video, which is kind of what I decided to do. When you see all these keyframes right up here, you can see that the camera is following the person as he falls right into the void. And then you can hear the sound screaming in the background. Everyone, back off. Back off. I have a stone sword, and you don't want to mess with me. One thing I decided to do with this is I kind of just found the anime zoom. I found the like, wow, anime kind of like sound effect on YouTube. And then I kind of used that color correction thing that I was talking about. But what I decided to use is I decided using highlights just to kind of like change the color of the Minecraft page a little bit. And you can see all these keyframes where you'll see the little pinwheel. It'll move around, kind of just go through different colors, and then it'll end. So that's kind of what I did for that.
Oh, you coming after me? Oh, okay. Somebody wants to come after me. No. Oh my god.
One thing I decided to do right there. Oh my god, this one was actually a pain to edit. Okay, so what I decided to do is I kind of found this audio effect of like something slowing down, which is something very similar that you can find on like the slow-mo guys. I decided to use it because it was kind of cool. So this here is a pain to edit. This is very handy and cool to do because this is a gradual slowdown from what you guys saw before when it came to speed. When I was kind of sped up that song, that was like on the point. All of a sudden, it's going really fast. This here, it gradually slows down, and then it's slow, and then right when the music comes or the sound effect comes, and then it gradually speeds right back up again. But this one was just mainly a pain because I was doing it, and then I would make an effect, and then I'd like move something, then all of a sudden the program would crash. Now, probably the biggest question that a lot of you guys are wanting to know was like, how did I do that? It's this monstrosity right here. That is how I did that. There is a lot of like looking at the audio files because since I'm moving it with the sound that I'm making, there is like I have to put a keyframe right when I start making the sound, right when I'm done making the sound, so that I know that it's staying there. And then when I make the next sound, it has to move over there, then it has to stay there, and then there's this pause. And then I do it again, and then it has to stay there, and then it does it again. And when I get to this point, I feel like I just move it down because I kind of went down in pitch. And then it stays there, and then blah, blah, blah. Goes for a little bit of rotation. And then it'll start to get to a point where I decided to like make it bigger because if it were to just stay that little, it kind of wouldn't look as special. So I decided to make it a little bit bigger. And just to finish it off, I just decided to just kind of like disappear out of frame. And I'm beating me.
What? What do you want? I don't care what you want. Hey. Hi.
One thing I kind of did here is I kind of like recorded myself doing the hey, and I don't know why I did that. I just felt as if I should add like some sort of an effect there. So I just was just like hey. I don't know. One thing I normally do for when it comes to just focusing on one specific word in chat is I'll take like a crop and I'll just like take a picture of the image so that nothing is being moved. And I normally take a picture by just clicking on this picture, import it into the project, and then I have this image here and I could just throw it up on there, and then we got an image right on the screen. And I would normally just like crop out the image by just using crop and just sliding in and just moving it, and then it just shows what we were trying to focus on. Don't ask. Just don't ask.
Don't ask.
Basically, I found a green screen effect on YouTube. I just threw that up on there. And finally, to finish it all off, this is what I did. Now, one thing there's kind of a story why I did that. Mainly because at the very end of the video, I was a little bit mad, so I kind of said a word. So I'm just like, we can try to do something else. So I kind of just made it fade into like some static. And if you guys didn't watch the entire way at the very end of the video, you would notice is that it goes cut black, and then there's 1 second of when it hits the number 420, a Lenny face pops up. So yeah, that's basically the entire video about how I kind of edited this. If there are some other questions that you guys want to ask me on like how I did this or how I do that, just ask me in the comments below. This is a different video of mine, but it would be well appreciated if you guys do like this video. Make sure you guys click on the notification bell so you're updated when I post videos like this. And yeah, this is kind of different since I don't have a face cam on. Wait, I got this. Make sure you guys crush that like button, subscribe, like the video, notification, share. Yeah. See you guys on the video. Now that you can see my face. Okay. Bye-bye.